is for the benefit of all of the vegetarians who watch the Dixon Digest and see the meatmongers eating. I'm going to help you guys make some veggie burgers. These are turnip greens, all chopped up. Of course, I'm not going to use them all. I'm going to use about that much in my bowl, and we're going to make some veggie burgers. So put just about any vegetable into the burgers. A good idea is mung bean. Gives a nice meaty texture to it. Make sure the mung beans cook first. You can also put some rice. Make sure that's cooked first too. To absorb moisture, you can put rolled oats, and potatoes also make wonderful veggie burger. I'm going to put some potato into my turnips. I'm using turnips because I'm ripping apart my garden right now, and the turnips have got to go. They gotta go because the slugs are coming. This is the wet season for me, and the slugs are going to love the turnips about as much as I do. So let's get putting this together. Okay, step one, I'm going to grate all of my turnips and my potatoes into fine shredded pieces like this with my highly antiquated hand crank, all guaranteed to work on lights out. I'm going to spare you watching me do this tedious task. Once I'm done, I'm going to throw it in the bowl with the greens. All right, this is me grinding. Okay, the grinding is done. As you can see in the bowl, I already have the potatoes that I ground up, turnip, just to prove you can put just about any veggie in here. I ground up some carrots too, threw a few fistfuls of oats, and I've also chopped up some onion here, and I'm not overly sure if I should chop another one or not, but while I put this together, I will make that decision. Okay, so now it's time to spice up your veggie burgers. As you can see, I have gone and mixed everything together, all of the veggies that I'm going to put in this time. And I'm going to go and put in my spices. Now, you can put in whatever spice you absolutely love. Me, I'm going to put in what I have on hand. And, whoops, black pepper, kosher salt or sea salt, that I believe is the healthiest for you. Jamaican goat curry, which Gary says is not real or doesn't exist, but I'm going to throw it in there anyway. Soy sauce and tomato juice. So here we go, throwing stuff in. Oh, I'm not giving you any measurements because it's all according to what you have and what you like. It's going to come out in texture, and you'll see what I'm talking about as we go further along. Okay, mixed everything up. Everything's nice and wet. You'll find that the potatoes and the turnips will weep. And making things a little bit wetter, and then of course I went and threw some tomato juice and some soy sauce into it. I also, if we go in really close, you can see I threw some sesame seeds in there. You can put nuts into your veggie burgers. They work really, really well and taste really good. I bumped across some sesame seeds and I thought, what the heck? So now what we need to do is come up with a binding agent, because this is really not holding together very well, and we need it to hold together much better than this if we want to make it for a burger. And this is where your varying degrees of vegetarianism steps in. For the higher level vegetarian that doesn't do eggs or dairy or anything like that, flour is really good as a binding agent. Peanut butter, in many countries in Africa, they use peanut butter to bind things together. I had a Ghanaian economics professor that made me a chicken stew with peanut butter in it, and oh my God, it was good. My mom My mom and dad came from the World War. They immigrated here to Canada, and they used bread to for their hamburger meats to extend the meal, to make the meal bigger, because during the war, food was very expensive and very difficult to get a hand on. So if you wanted to feed the family, they stretched the hamburger meal by breaking up bread and putting it into the hamburger as well. So I am not adverse to eggs and dairy, so I'm going to put a couple eggs in here that'll help bind this mixture. I'm also going to put some flour in here to bind this mixture, and I'm going to go with my mama, and I'm going to stretch the meal by throwing some crumbled up bread into here too. Don't dry the bread or anything like that. Put just this is just a regular slice of bread, buns, whatever else you have on hand. All right, so I'm going to put this together. Save you having watched me do it. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I've got everything so that it will stick together like this. I even have a patty here that I put together to give you an idea. See? You can put it in a frying pan and it won't fall apart on you. Keep your binding agent, your flour, close by, because the potatoes and the turnips will continue to weep and gather up more moisture, and you might need to add some more flour on the way. But we're ready to fry these babies up. So let's grab the frying pan and some olive oil, my oil cooking of choice. I don't know what you use, but I use olive oil. And let's go make some burgers. All right, there we go. Some happy patties sizzling away in the frying pan. Probably going to cook, oh gosh, good 10 minutes or more on this side. Especially if you have eggs, you want to make sure that they're cooked all the way through nicely. They're going to get nice and toasty and crisp on one side, and I'm going to flip them over and show you what it looks like once it's all cooked and done. Okay, I have them flipped over now. As you can see, they're a nice crisp brown. There's some variations that you can do with these, because these are just like hamburgers. You would serve them up just like you would on a bun with your lettuce and your condiments and stuff like that. You can also roll them into little balls and deep fry them for meatballs, for spaghetti and meatballs. You make them up first, deep fry them first, and then you put them in your tomato sauce and let them sit in there for a little bit, and then pour that all over your spaghetti. Also, you can make a variation of meatloaf by putting it in, grease the bread pan first, and then putting a lump of it in the bread pan, mold it the way you would. Some people put tomato sauce on top of their meatloaf. You can do this with this too. Bake it in the oven and slice it up just like you would with a meatloaf, and it makes a really, really good dish too. But you can see everything is looking really pretty and delicious. Yeah. Got my next round on the go, as you can see, sizzling away, and this is what I pulled up off out of the frying pan. There we go. There we go. Nice veggie burger, and oh my god, it tastes good. Trust me, family, it tastes good. So I'm going to let this cool for a bit, and I'm going to bag it up and put it in my freezer, because like I mentioned at the top of this, that I'm cropping off my garden, and so this is why I'm making turnip veggie burgers right now, is because I pulled turnips up out of my garden, and this is one of the ways that I store my food for the winter time. Like I said, gonna let it cool, then I'm gonna bag it up nice and tight and put it in the freezer. So I'm gonna have veggie burgers throughout the winter. Yeah. So this is Chick Million rapping for all of the vegetarians on out there. Have yourselves a wonderful day.